Hello, Leafs fans. If you've been following the NHL offseason, you've certainly noticed that one of the most talked about topics involves Jack Roslovic and the Toronto Maple Leafs. We are just over 2 weeks away from the start of the 2025 regular season, and the situation is still uncertain. Why is a player with potential and a consistent track record not yet signed with a team that seemed interested? Today, we're going to dive deep into the saga, analyze the Leafs' logic, roster obstacles, contracts, and strategy, and try to understand what might happen in the coming weeks. Get ready for a detailed, almost cinematic narrative of the offseason movement that keeps Leafs Nation on edge. Clips of Roslovic playing for the Hurricanes appear on the screen, interspersed with graphics showing points, goals, and assists, while excerpts from tweets and graphics from reports by Chris Johnston and Elliot Friedman are displayed. NHL insider Chris Johnston recently shared that the Maple Leafs are not particularly inclined to sign Roslovic at this time. The problem is clear. The team already has an extremely deep forward line and needs to carefully evaluate any moves before adding another forward. Before considering new names, Toronto would need to create space, either by waiving players, sending them to the AHL, or strategically adjusting ice time. Jack Roslovic, who finished last season with 39 points, including 22 goals and 17 assists, ranked 6th in scoring for the Carolina Hurricanes. In playoffs, he added 4 points in 9 games. These numbers show a solid player, capable of playing a significant role, but who also needs to fit into an already established roster. The critical point here is that Roslovic received contract offers near the start of free agency, ranging from 2 to 3 years, with a market value between $3.5 million and $3.75 million. He decided not to accept immediately, waiting for something that better reflected his value. But the summer went by without any significant new offers. Changing agents in the middle of the offseason added more complexity to the situation, signaling that he is seeking a more strategic deal, but time is becoming a decisive factor. To understand the impasse, it is essential to analyze the Leafs' internal context. Toronto currently has impressive depth of forward, despite including players at high level chemistry and play specific roles within the rotation. In terms of ice strategy, every additional forward creates a domino effect. Playing minutes, power play, penalty kill, and defensive matchups all need to be reconsidered. Brad Treliving, the general manager, recently commented that the team will likely maintain its core players unless significant changes occur. This means that even if there were interest in Roslovic, there is no immediate space in the main rotation without compensatory moves. This is a classic example of how elite teams balance talent, salaries, and development opportunities. A talented player alone does not guarantee space if the team already has similar or better options to fulfill essential roles on the ice. Chris Johnson emphasizes that only a significant injury could change the plans, opening space to reconsider Roslovic. But even then, the team would need to make adjustments to accommodate the new forward without compromising performance of the existing lines. This reality shows that off-season decisions are not just about talent, but also about intelligent roster management, financial resources, and long-term strategic vision. Now, let's take a closer look at Jack Roslovic, 26 years old, a versatile center who can also play on the wings. He is known for his speed, defensive intelligence, and finishing ability, attributes that make him valuable in various game situations. Last season, his 22 goals and 17 assists put him in a prominent position on the Carolina Hurricanes, while his 4 points in the playoffs show that he can contribute under pressure. His playing style combines aggressive forechecking, quick decision-making, and the ability to move between lines, characteristics that could fit very well into Toronto's offensive style. Comparing him with other NHL centers, Roslovic resembles players like Ryan Strome, who has mobility and the ability to find space, or even a younger Matt Duchene, offering solutions both in 5v5 situations and on the power play. Additionally, his flexibility to play different offensive positions allows the Leafs to adjust lines as needed without compromising chemistry or efficiency. He could play in secondary offensive pairs, create passing opportunities for top scorers, and contribute in short-handed situations, making him a valuable tactical element if added to the roster. Roslovic was seeking a contract that reflected his market value between $3.5 and $3.75 million for 2 to 3 years. The problem is that by rejecting the initial offers, he assumed a strategic risk. Waiting for a better proposal can mean fewer opportunities as the season approaches. The agent change during the offseason indicates that Roslovic and his team are looking for someone able to negotiate more aggressively and strategically. However, time is becoming a critical factor. With the preseason already underway, teams are beginning to consolidate their rosters, and short-term contracts may be the only viable alternative for players still seeking positioning. Roslovic, therefore, needs to balance patience with pragmatism, showing value on the ice while simultaneously negotiating a position that allows for future salary growth. So, what are the real chances of Roslovic ending up in Toronto? Unfortunately, they seem to diminish as the preseason progresses. The team is comfortable with its current core, and any move would depend on external factors, such as injuries or strategic trades. Possible scenarios include an injury to a starting forward, which could temporarily open up space, roster moves such as sending players to the AHL to free up ice time, or a contract adjustment, in which Roslovic accepts a shorter or less lucrative deal to join the team, prove his value, and seek a bigger contract in the future. Brad Trailiving makes it clear, we're always watching, but we have a lot of players at the moment. This shows that even with interest, the team's priority is not just adding talent, but managing the roster strategically, maintaining chemistry, balance, and tactical efficiency. If Roslovic were to join the team, the tactical impact would be significant. On the power play, his vision and finishing ability could create new offensive options, acting as a link between passing and the final shot. On the penalty kill, his speed and defensive intelligence will be valuable assets to neutralize fast attacks from opponents. He could play as a second or third center, allowing players like Austin Matthews and Mitchell Marner to reduce their workload while maintaining efficiency on the top lines. In terms of ice time, Roslovic could expect 14 to 18 minutes per game, while potentially taking on roles in secondary power play units or specific defensive matchups, depending on the coach's needs. This versatility makes Roslovic not just an offensive addition, but a player who contributes to tactical balance, offering rotation options, line adjustments, and flexibility in specific game situations, which is crucial for elite teams like Toronto. In the end, the saga of Jack Roslovic and the Maple Leafs perfectly illustrates how off-season decisions in the NHL are much more complex than they seem. It is not just a matter of talent, but of roster management, salary cap space, timing, and long-term strategic vision. For now, Roslovic remains a free agent, waiting for opportunities, while Toronto maintains its solid core forwards. Will Roslovic wear the Leafs jersey before the season starts? Perhaps. But the team's priority is to maintain balance and chemistry, ensuring that every move is strategic and sustainable. For now, Leafs Nation can breathe easy. There is no imminent signing, just open possibilities and cautious expectations. And you? Do you think Jack Roslovic will actually wear the Leafs jersey this year, or will he seek other opportunities in the NHL? Share your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more detailed analysis and NHL updates. Here, every move counts, every decision is strategic, and we will be following it all closely.